Late night chilling, pimps. It's your boy Wings. And the question I have for you tonight is: would you give an employer your Facebook username and password? Because it seems that some of these people out in the world have actually started asking for this. And I remember back when I was a kid and I was looking for some of my first jobs. I remember applying for a Blockbuster job one time. And I got through the initial application phase. I mean, jobs are coming in different stages now. It's almost like you have to give up your life record to get a job nowadays. And especially a shitty job like something like Bojangles or Bilo. They act like they're looking for core employees here. Come on, dude. Nobody joins Bilo to stock fucking shelves for the rest of their lives. They're not looking to make a career out of it. They're looking to make some fucking money, or maybe just to try to get to another section of their life where they can make better money. That's what a Bilo application indicates on a person. I can bet you there's like 1% of the people that fill out a Bilo application plan to stay there for the rest of their fucking life. You guys remember that dude that was like retired from McDonald's, and he worked there since he was like 18, and he never even moved up. He didn't go like assistant manager or manager, like, or, route supervisor. He swept fucking floors for 65 years. What was that dude's name? Hold up. Well, I couldn't find that guy's name, but I found some other jackass. This dude right here, his name's Luke Pitard. He's 25, and he won 1.3 million quid in a national lottery. And then, after he bought him a nice house, he had a nice wedding with him and his fiance, went to the Canterbury Islands and bought a couple cars. He goes back to his McDonald's job. He didn't spend all the money. Hell, what he did is he got tired of sitting at home and he wanted to work. What kind of bullshit is that? But let's get on to the subject, something else. Would you give somebody your Facebook password? And I went back to the Bilo and Blockbuster things. I remember getting through the application process of Bilo. It was Blockbuster, to be perfectly honest. And I get called up by the store manager, and I forgot if it was a he or she. Basically, it tells me to come in for a more in-depth interview. I go, cool, I'm in the interview process. Well, the interview process I haven't even got to yet. I come in, I go sit me in the back office, and I take a test. This test is like 70-some questions long. And the test asks you questions like, would you sneak into a movie if it was free? No, it goes, would you sneak into a movie if you knew you could get by without paying? It asks all kinds of little shady questions like that, and you're sitting there thinking in your head, like, do I answer this question truthfully? Or do I not answer this question truthfully? You're like, are they looking for somebody that's very honest? Or are they looking for somebody that's willing to bullshit? So I usually always took the bullshit route. That's how I always passed those. I don't know if they even still do those. I mean, most of the places that used to do those things, they're out of fucking business now. I guess that thing didn't give you grade A employees like you thought. Maybe if you actually took some chances on somebody and had somebody out there that actually hired people that knew how to judge character, you wouldn't have to have this stupid ass application process. But anyway, some of the bigger jobs, like government jobs, city jobs, jobs that people fight for, that really, really want, are now asking for like Facebook and password information. Well, some of them are. Some of them have stopped doing it altogether back in 2009. But I think this is a grossly, use of power. Like, why do you need my Facebook information? I understand why you want my Facebook information. You want to see if I'm going out there posting dick pics and giggling and trying to hit on 15-year-old girls. That's what you want to see when you go to my Facebook. Or maybe you want to see that I'm a member of the, the community watch and go to church and shit like that, and I don't have pictures of my vehicle all over the page. Like, what are you looking for when you're looking for my Facebook? Do you really need to go that much in depth? I mean, even if you get a guy, for example, I don't remember his name, but he was a cockeyed liar. When I was working at the steel mill, they hired this maintenance man, and he talked about he was in Bosnia, and he talked about how he was building this new house. And you know what that motherfucker ended up getting canned for? Stealing fucking tools. How the fuck do you steal tools? Come on, man. You got a job where you're making $30 a damn hour, and you're stealing tools. He was putting tools in the bed of his truck on his break. And I bet you he had a pretty good fucking background resume and whatever. I bet you if they checked his Facebook, you wouldn't find, I steal tools for a living. What the hell? What the hell are you on my fucking Facebook for? What are your guys' opinion on this? Let your boy Wings know. It's late night chilling. That's the question I got for you. Peace. Hey guys. You know, recently they had one of the largest lotteries ever being won, which was $640 million. And just like I was saying on Twitter, that I would really have loved to win this lottery. And I was seriously thinking about what I would have done if I would have won the lottery. And like I had it all played out in my head. I was almost like fantasized, like I was having illusions about all that money. And it isn't so much about the money as, you know, $640 million comes out to be what, like $370 million after taxes or something like that. First thing I would do is I wouldn't have posted a video for a week. And and by the time people would start realizing, like, is Wink still alive? Is he still alive? He's not going to do it no more. And then I'd come back with a whale watching video. Be like, yeah, dude, here's where I am in my life. I'm watching whales. And then I would have done a giveaway of a $20 PSN card. Just show how charitable I am. Toward the end of the video, I said, oh yeah, this PSN $20 card, the winner also gets this. And we'd like have a brand new 2012 F-150 Lariat and like throw it in the passenger seat. Yeah, you get that too. I thought that would have been a cool ass video. I mean, probably what I'd done after that point was, since $370 million, you're pretty much set for life. You don't have to work no more. You know, people go in there and invest and try to do all the other stuff, dude. I would just throw half of it in the fucking bank and live off the interest. I seriously would. Like, what is the interest of $370 million? Let's see. If you had like a nice 4% interest account, you'd be making $1.5 million a year for just having that much money. So I couldn't spend $1 million a year. So that money itself would make me more money than I could spend every year of my life. And it would be like, yeah, I would just live off the fucking interest. I seriously would. The money would be making money for me. You know, and that kind of interest, you could have a very nice, you know, a very nice $500,000 or $600,000 house, a new car every year of the fucking every year. You could have a brand new car and just keep the old one. Obviously, you'd have to go pay taxes and stuff like that. So money would be set for me. So what I would end up doing is I probably would have hired a professional camera crew to go on my adventures I would have taken, because I'd be traveling a lot. I'd be going like Johannesburg, you know, in South Africa, and just, you know, go on safari. Then I'd go. I always wanted to go whale watching. I always wanted to go on a cruise. I've always wanted to go in like the NASA space area where you actually get to go and simulate being in space. I'd probably hire a professional personal trainer. I mean, all the things in life you want to do but you really can't do. Like, to be perfectly honest, I'd rebuild cars. If you gave me that kind of money, I would build a shop with a couple lifts on it and all the fabrication tools, and I would start rebuilding cars from the ground up. I've always wanted a 57 Chevrolet Bel Air. Always wanted it. 2-door with the blue stripe down the middle, hard top. I'd want the 283 V8 with the 3-speed actually I'd want the Turbo Glide auto transmission put into it, mainly because I can drive a handshaker. But the fact is, I'd rather not drive a handshaker. I'd rather just go around and cruise in that car. And I don't really see the need to putting a big old engine like a 454 stroker in it or anything like that. Mainly because Bel Air is not a car you build for speed. You build a Bel Air to cruise. Roll down that bitch, be like, just kicking it, son. I mean, like, what did the 283 put out down there? I know it was like 460,000 cc. It was a twin barrel carburetor. I think it put out like 185 horsepower or something. You know, it sounds fucking. No, that was the inline 6 to put out an 83. This would put out 200 and God, what was it? 283 horsepower, I believe. Yeah, I know you guys don't like car talk, but that's just something I really fucking love. And I start building stuff like that from the ground up. I'd actually probably, buy a rusty out 1970 Dodge Challenger frame and rebuild it, do the whole 9, and just something to fill my fucking day up. Just have these nice fucking cars. I'd be like Jay Leno, dude. I seriously would. There'd be like a building on my property somewhere where I just flip a fucking switch, like, and there'd be like cars from as far as you can see. I love cars. I do. But that's what I would do if I won $650 million. I'd actually do a lot of help too. Like, I'd probably feed the hungry and all this, and I'd volunteer my time. Like, all this time, I'd probably start building cars for charities to sell, like at Barrett Jackson and stuff. Like, for example, say I rebuilt that Chevrolet Bel Air, I drive it for 4 or 5 months. Like, man, donate it to Barrett Jackson, put all the proceeds to somewhere else. Just to do stuff like that for fun. I mean, that's just what I enjoy to do. What would you guys do with $640 million? Let me know. Been your boy Wings of Redemption. If you could, hold me down with a like. Oh, what's up, dudes? Let me tell you about some fucked up shit I just went through. I don't know how many of you people ever talk about some dreaming, but I had a really weird, odd dream today. Kind of like a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of dream. Basically, I was sleeping. And sleeping in late like usual. I mean, lately I've been staying up like 4 o'clock in the morning and sleeping until like 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And today, well, I put like this big blind over my window, and I cover over it to make sure the room's always dark, so I can sleep whenever the hell I want to sleep. Kind of do what I want to do when I feel like doing it. That kind of thing. So I'm sleeping, right, and all of a sudden I hear. I'm like, oh, what the hell is that? Well, let me get more into this. I was actually dreaming about pro wrestling. I dreamed that the Undertaker had like this Batman type mask on, and he was facing. Who was he facing? He was facing a jobber, some nobody. And the weird thing about this was, like, there were people like barbecuing inside the ring while they were wrestling. Like, there were like people sitting there, and there's another person throwing darts, and they had to like kind of wrestle around them throwing darts and barbecuing, and like it was odd to say the least. But all of a sudden it's like, so obviously I'm startled, so I kind of wake up. And I remember when I woke up, I had my hand on the bed, elbow on the bed, and my head in my hand like this, and I woke up and I'm like half asleep, and I see the light creasing on the windowsill through the cover or the blanket I have tacked up over the blind in the window. So I'm like, oh, I'm up. What time is it? And then I heard that sting again. So this scared me, so I like jolted. So I look over here, and I see it's like, I don't even remember what the time was, to be perfectly honest. I remember looking at the clock, but like it was like one of those things where you look at something because you naturally, instinctively to look at something, but then all of a sudden it's like it's just like boom, gone. It's out of your mind, and I kind of pinpoint the sound in the room beside of me. So I basically I get a mag light out. It's a 6D mag light, and that's kind of strange. That's what I pictured in my dream. And I start going into the next room, and I hear just rustling. It's like in the next room. So I open the door with the mag light, and then I wake up. This fucking scared me a shitload, but it didn't stop there. It's like I wake up in the same position. It's like that boom. Like Groundhog fucking Day. It's like see the fucking crease of light. My hand's back there, and now I'm like, oh, didn't I just wake up? So I'm sitting there questioning myself. I'm still half asleep in La La Land, like I must have been dreaming it still. So I was like, I'm gonna get up now. So I was sitting there trying to pull my hand off my face, and I couldn't do it. It's like, oh. I was like, oh shit. So I had to end up taking my other hand and pulling it off. Like my hand had like rigor mortis or some shit. And then once I get that, and I flip on the other side, and next thing I know, I hear like a nose of elephant. And then I hear like people just dragging their hands along the freaking wall, like. So I'm like, what the fuck? Is it night? I can't really determine if it's night or not in my room. I mean, I seen the light, but that light right there could be, there's a street light outside, so that could be that. So I was like, who the fuck's got a nose of elephants up here in this time like that? I was fucking tripping balls, son. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I was tripping hard. So I'm sitting thinking, man, I'm asleep again. I'm asleep again. But I was also terrified that somebody was here at the house. I was like, I gotta get a gun. I gotta go get a gun. Gotta get up out of bed. And then I couldn't get out of bed. And then boom, I woke up again. Same fucking position. It's like now I'm gonna start thinking, man, I'm trapped in a fucking eternal loop here. How the hell do I get out of bed this morning? And eventually I get out of bed and it works. But it was strange as hell. Dude, have you guys ever had dreams like that? Where you just, it was like, wow, that was creepy. You know, when I got up, I started thinking about dreams of things like maybe dying in my sleep and like maybe the people drowning. What happened if I was dreaming about drowning and I just couldn't get out of the dream world? Like, wonder what causes that kind of thing. Like, what kind of resides in your head to cause that thing? And then, every time I think about that, I think about when I was like 10, and my cousin's like, "You better eat breakfast before you tell somebody about your dream," which I haven't done yet. It's like 2:16. I haven't ate shit. I woke up at about 11:30, and he's like, "If you don't, it'll come true." I'm like, but that would be kind of cool to have like a groundhog type, day thing go along with you and have it come true. But on the flip side of it, probably not. Oh man, I just wanted to share this dream with you guys. This dream was fucking crazy. What kind of dreams do you guys usually have? Like, I dream about some stupid fucking shit. Like I mean, I drum about plural dreams is drum. I dreamed one time a car fucking fell on me. I dreamed again. Another thing I usually dream about is I can't really remember. I mean, dreams are so hazy because it happens right there that last cycle of your brain. But yeah, what's the weirdest shit you guys ever dreamed about? I look forward to reading them. Let me know. If you could, hit your boy up with a like. Love all you guys. It's been your boy Wings of Redemption. I'm out of 5,000. Time for some of that sentimental shit. I'm just going to turn this off. Sorry about that. As you can tell, this is not a commentary that's going to be really deep in like detail and editing and stuff like that. But, I don't care. I'm probably not going to put gameplay over the back of it. So just listen to me talk and just concentrate on my voice. When I was young and growing up, the way I used to get over things was writing. I've even shared some of my writings on my channel throughout the years. And I'll probably continue to do that because I have a lot of them. And because writing is something in me that allows me to basically be myself and confront issues I have without lashing out. Before I had Twitter and before there was Facebook, the way that I battled my demons was with a pen and paper. And recently I went through a major breakup. And it wasn't really a breakup per se. We're pretty much still friends at this point. But we just realized that we weren't good to live together. That's where we were at. And we pretty much had to distance ourselves from each other. So what I'm going to pretty much share with you now is something I've been working on to help me get over that and to basically bounce back. And this is the kind of stuff, this is the behind the scenes stuff you see in people's minds that you don't normally would see. So I'm here to share it with you guys. I haven't named it yet. So hopefully you guys can help me finish it and maybe give it a name. For only the real hardcore fans are here now. Here it goes. I said I loved you once again today. I didn't mean it, but I said it anyway. Maybe it's a comfort that stays with me, a way to cover up that person you don't see. The one who thinks all night and breaks glass doors. The one who cries in his hands on the floor. The person that hides in the shower to cover up his pain. Everything in a way died off, but yet nothing stayed the same. So I run it over in my head again with white hairs forming on my beard. Looking over everything I said, and whoops, I lost another year. There was no golden bond to take off, nor did I have to smother out an eternal flame. My friend in me keeps you in my phone, still under the same pet name, and yet I still face myself. And that's all I've got so far. I mean, that's where it pretty much cuts off at. I mean, It's kind of expressing everything that I'm thinking at one time, but at the same time keeping that eternal rhyme in it. That eternal rhyme is actually key to my writing, mainly because I want them to be fun to read, and when I go back and I read them again, I read them with pride, I read them as accomplishment, and I also read them as a footnote in my life. Because even things that you don't want to remember can be turned to be like this greater thing in life, this new like light balance. And I've used that a lot of times. Like a lot of my poems actually come from my weight, and a lot of my poems come from 6 feet. That's what it comes from, the distance between me and a mirror, because I've always been like ashamed of my looks and things like that. And we won't just do something about it. It's more complicated than that. It seriously is. I mean, it sounds simple in theory, but a lot of things sound simple in theory. I mean, on paper, certain things should be better than other things, but they're not. I mean, that's just the way it is. What do you guys think of it? What name would you give it? What route would you take with it? Let me know. It's been your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm Howdy 5000. As always, if you enjoyed this, please throw me a like. What's up, fellas? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and you got to catch an eyeful of what I'm about to tell you right here. It seems like Arizona is actually banning trolls. I'm dead serious. They're banning the people that go on the internet and start hating on other people's, channels and things like that. And a lot of it has to do with the spur off of the movie. Let me go and read you some of this boring shit. Arizona marches to the beat of its own drummer, but if that drummer was upset and starts hollering on the internet, he might get tossed into kink. After spending years targeting illegal aliens, the Grand Canyon state is turning its sights on obnoxious internet users, obviously called trolls. A new update to the state's telecommunication harassment bill could make it practice of harassing people online illegal. And that's just pretty much the groundwork. And let me tell you what the logistics of a bill like this is. I'm by no means a master lawmaker, and I'm not a man with a mathematic degree of any field. But let me tell you how this bill happens. This bill doesn't happen, say El Prestor gets on and starts making fun of somebody else, and he's not going to go straight to jail, obviously. But the way this bill would work is, for example, say Becky gets in a fight with, Taylor. Well, Becky doesn't like the way Taylor has pink hair. So Becky gets on Facebook and starts saying, yeah, pink hair is for pussies, and because pussy's pink. And Taylor doesn't like it, and Taylor ends up hanging herself. That would make Becky liable for second-degree manslaughter. That's the way that wants to do. And there's two sides of this in both ways. There's one side of me that wants to say, yeah, that's cool, she's liable for actions. But on the other side of me, I kind of see it like this. Becky didn't cause Taylor to hang herself. All Becky did was express that she didn't like something that Taylor did. And generally, I'm one kind of person that is pretty much like, if you make your bed, you need to lay in it. And no matter how much internet calling, no matter how much name calling someone does, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's the way my motto goes with that. Mainly because no matter how much influence you have, unless you're sitting there, like, yeah, kill yourself. Kill yourself. Look at this, dude. The world's not going to love you. The world hates you. Nobody else has got a flat tire on the freeway. You should throw yourself into traffic. Unless you're sitting there like that and you're not present during the actual act of him committing suicide, I don't think anything you say should be considered a presence or even upheld in court. Mainly because it's just words. You did not kill that guy. You shouldn't be responsible for his death. And if you want to make that illegal, then banks would be going to jail. For example, what if somebody fucking throws himself into a train because he, gets behind on his house and the bank tells him, yep, we're going to repo your property. Well, he killed himself because the bank's repoing his property. So is the bank not liable? Does the bank have blood on their hands? No, they don't. Why should, I forgot what I called her, I think Becky. Why should Becky have blood on her hands because she didn't like Taylor's hair and she decided to make a fit about it? I understand that a lot of people think this is mean, this is unjust, and there's like moral standard, but moral standards should not go against, your First Amendment rights. Freedom of speech should uphold everything, and I believe freedom of speech is something that we're losing a lot of, especially now. You have, like police think there's ways you shouldn't videotape it. People think you got to have the permission to videotape them on public property. People have no understanding of public easement rights. and different things like that. And this right here is just a slow. I picture this like a belt. Somebody has put a leather belt around the society's neck and is slowly closing it, and they're slowly choking us out. And while the air that we're losing and getting cut off from, that's our First Amendment, that's our Bill of Rights, that's our Constitution. Everything that this country was founded on is kind of slowly getting squeezed out. Now we have almost like a Third Reich system that's taking 40 years to institute instead of going instantaneously into martial law. It's the same way how there used to be like a metaphor about cooking a frog. I know this is a silly fucking metaphor, but used to, if you put a frog in a pot of cold water, he'll be fine. If you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, he'll jump out immediately. But if you take that pot of cold water he's sitting in and you slowly get it up to a boil, he won't jump out immediately. And that's pretty much what we're doing. We're frogs getting the water turned up to a boil slowly. It might take 50 years to get all these little rights, like you're not allowed to field the police, you're not allowed to talk bad to each other on the internet. Next thing you know, or even like you're not allowed to smoke in your home, you're not allowed to smoke outside, things like that. Next thing you know, it's going to be like you're only allowed to have missionary sex in your house. Next thing you know, you're only allowed to speak when spoken to. Next thing you know, they're going to have fucking fucking guys that come into you and you got to buy preordained speaking minutes to have public rights. And then you get to the point where you're in like a communist country and you play a guitar song about them, they pick you up and they give you the death penalty. I mean, it might be a big jump out there, like, oh, that ain't gonna happen, Wings. It might not happen next week, it might not happen 10 years from now, but the fact is, if you keep giving people, they're gonna keep taking, and if they keep taking, eventually you're going to get to the point where you have no rights at all. So you should stand up for what you have in the first place. This country is bounded on freedom. This country fights for freedom. But lately this country doesn't fight for anything. I said it in the Colony 2012 video that freedom is something that we no longer value. I mean, we fought in Korea for people's freedom. We fought in Vietnam for people's freedom. We fought in World War II and won for people's freedom. But now, unless there's $1 to be made, our $15 trillion in debt ass won't even move. I mean, if you want to act like the world police and you want to be all big up and have freedom towers and be like, this is the land of the free, stop trying to pass bills that pretty much criminalize internet trolling. Internet trolling sucks. You know what sucks even worse? Getting spammed by the internet. Malware. That shit sucks worse. You know what sucks worse? Paying $15 for a piece of fucking plastic. You know what sucks even worse than that? Paying fucking gas prices. Gas prices are atrocious. Deal with that. Why don't you deal with the fucking price gouging, gas stations are going through? How about price gouging that of what oil companies are putting in through America? I mean, it's a bigger problem. Why don't you deal with the bigger problems? It's almost like a cop sitting at a stop sign. The stop sign is engineered very poorly, so the cop's constantly handing out speeding tickets. So instead of that cop wondering why the people are running the stop sign, they are clearly just making money, a revenue generation unit. All in all, it's the same. But it's a stupid bill. You can check it out in the description if you want to read it in length. And it's been your boy Wings of Redemption. If you could, hold me down with a like. Peace! What's up? It's your boy Wings of Redemption. Late night chilling. Sleepy as shit. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. This is some beast gameplay that I got on Battlefield 3. I jumped on the Xbox and played a little squad deathmatch with some randoms. This is a pretty good run I had. I've basically been looking through the YouTube, sitting around here bored, and one of the things I came across was mainly Joe Aparo was in the ABC News. I was reading ABC News, and Joe Aparo came up, so I instantly punched his name into the YouTube. Apparently, back in 2010, they passed a law that allowed him to racially profile people and stop them basically because they're Mexican. And the one thing that popped in my head was this. Because basically the law states that you're allowed to stop them. That's plain and simple. Like, you don't have to have probable cause. You're breaking all their constitutional rights. And when you're breaking constitutional rights, because, as you know, there are some Spanish people here that are American citizens. So how can you make a law that breaks constitutional rights? Because you'd have to break American citizens' constitutional rights on guesses or whims put in the hands of officers. And if anybody's ever watched a YouTube video or any kind of YouTube videos, you're eventually going to make it to the point where officers are beating the shit out of American citizens and lying about them and telling them false laws and things like that, such as, you know, videotaping of police officers and a felony. I know I've been harping on this a lot lately, but let's go ahead and bear with me on this. So the fact is, they've implemented this law in Arizona, which damn, I'm harping on Arizona again. This is Arizona though. Arizona, where they basically will allow cops to have all this power over Spanish people. And I got to questioning this. What about the Canadian people? I mean, are we really so hard on the Spanish people because of stereotypes? I mean, I've never met a Spanish person that I really thought was like a horrible person. Let me go ahead and say this without doubt, though. I do not live in an area that has a lot of Spanish gangs. I do not live in LA. There's no Florence and Henderson. There's nothing of that around here. Mainly the Spanish people that I come in contact with are generally good, hard-working people that want to do nothing more than, you know, give their family a better life than they had. But every race of people has their undesirables, their downsides, their pretty much, you know, scum of the earth. And you can't really isolate somebody like this. For every Mexican gangbanger you out there, there's been a son of Sam. I mean, it's to the point. Just think about the shooting that just happened. They had a school shooting over there, and it was an Asian guy. He shot 7 people dead in cold blood. Now, do we start isolating Asians, saying that if they owe taxes, they're not allowed to go to school? No. But you know, this whole bill would be put to moot in one fucking sitting. And that sitting would look something like this. The first time they pull a Canadian guy over that crossed the border without paying his toll or having the proper papers, they would let go on through. But they would sit there and harass a Spanish guy. How many Canadians have crossed that border illegally and nobody gave 2 shits and a fuck? I've never heard 2 things about it. What do you guys think? As always, it's been your boy, Wings of Redemption. Hope you guys throw me a like. And it's late night chill. What's up, fellas? Well, Wings of Redemption. I'm going to talk about riot shields. Modern Warfare 3 brought back one of the things that I enjoyed from Modern Warfare 2, which was the riot shield. Even though you might think I'm a tryhard, and you might think that, you know, I would never do anything to tarnish my KD, I actually played around a lot with the riot shield in Modern Warfare 2. Hell, I even got the first riot shield nuke, which you can see on Machinima. But here's the thing. The riot shield sucks ass in Modern Warfare 3. Let me go ahead and refrain. It sucked in Modern Warfare 2 as well. The riot shield was one of those weapons that you pretty much had to outthink, outclass, outplay every single variable of the enemy to do well with it. But in Modern Warfare 2, even with Commando and all these, you could still outplay somebody. You could simply set something I like to do called C4 traps. C4 traps was something fun as shit to do. You guys remember the C4 traps? It's what I used to get the first riot shield nuke with. You pretty much set the C4 down in an area somewhere, and then you lure the guy into it with your riot shield, because they come up and either try to knife you, or they come up try to get around you and try to knife you through the shield, and you go bloop, hold that bitch ass up. That shit was fun. Yes, you can still do that in Modern Warfare 3, but guess what? You only get 1 fucking C4. Who the hell wants to do that? 1 C4? Garbage, that's what that is. Mouthful of dick garbage. So they took away getting any explosives from the scavenger. Even grenades and stuff. I never liked this. I always loved getting my grenades replenished from scavenger for the main reason it helped me protect flags. What's the easiest way to protect a flag getting captured? You throw a grenade at it. I mean, even if I didn't want to kill the guy with the grenade, or, you know, I couldn't really get a good angle on the guy on the flag with the grenade, I'd always throw it at it. That way they'd be weakened up, so I don't have to put 1 shot in them where they might have put 3 or 4 into me. Problem solved. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think they should bring scavenger back on things like C4 and like Semtex and frag grenades. Hell, even claymore mines. Just limit it to 1. How many times do you actually get killed by claymore anyway? Stalker Pro pretty much protects you 100% from them. What it seems like to me is they got lazy with the coding of the game. They got so lazy that they didn't want to like edit out the fucking noob tube, which is fucking pointless to begin with. Why don't you just take the shit out of multiplayer? Simple. Like, who the hell out here warrants this fucking noob tube so much that you gotta have it in every goddamn multiplayer you put out? Hell, even World at War had a rifle grenade, which, in effect, let me say this before let's look hypocritical, I did warrant the use of the rifle grenade in World at War. Main reason, what usually had the rifle grenade? M1 Garand, the bolt action rifles, and the Gewehr. Almost every one of the weapons there were really hard to use, and Jug MP40 was very rampant. So if somebody wanted to use Jug MP40, hell yes, rifle grenade the shit out of them. You only got 2 of them anyway. I used them in Search and Destroy. Nothing bring me more joy than rifle grenading the fuck out of a little Jug fucking user. It made my heart do flips and go woolly 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 woolly. But back to the Riot Shield. Riot Shield in Modern Warfare 3 is a damn joke. You guys ever try using that? I had high hopes for the Riot Shield coming into it, mainly because of the hardline combo. I figured hardline with a couple of assists, they need to make, like, when you're shooting, if somebody's shooting at you and somebody shoots you, that gives them a assist ticket. I mean, give that an assist. Boom. Hardline, 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 hardline. So you can build your kill streaks up and still be a main member of the team. But no. Riot Shield, you get stuck. You have akimbo FMGs. Hell, all the akimbo shit just destroys the Riot Shield, especially since the really shitty hit detection they have on the Riot Shield to begin with. And the fact it hurts the fact that they changed the Modern Warfare 2, hit detection system and made a worse one in Modern Warfare 3. That shit the Riot Shield even more. The way you fix the Riot Shield is this: you make him the assault rifle run walk speed. Riot Shield now is a one-hit kill. All the assists you get from crowd control go toward, like, hardline assists. Hell, have hardline built into the shit. Make it fucking useful so we actually see some Riot Shield guys out there. How often do you see a Riot Shield guy and you think, oh my god, here's the bearer, here's the Deathbringer, here's the Doomsayer? No, you don't. You fucking run up to him and laugh at him. I mean, there's... I think I'm more safe with the Riot Shield guy than I am with a guy with a KSG-12 in the same room. Riot Shield guys are jokes. I mean, as soon as he hits me, I'm just going to knife him through his shield because he can't get back to ready position quick enough. It's horrible. The Riot Shield is horrible. Why don't they make these weapons fucking usable? What is your guy opinion? Have you guys ever used the Riot Shield? Have you ever got good gameplay with the Riot Shield? Hell, I don't even know if I could put gameplay with the Riot Shield up over this. As always, it's been your boy Wings of Redemption. And let me know what you guys think the Riot Shield should do to basically be a more mainstay part of the game. I was always expecting the Riot Shield to be something like an MLG play. A couple guys bring the Riot Shield out to take fucking B flag, but no. It's a gimmick weapon. Why would you make something like that a gimmick weapon? Hell, even a cooler idea. How about allow you to shoot your pistol from behind the Riot Shield or your secondary? That would be fucking cool. That would help the Riot Shield out. Just the last little... What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption. And I'm about to blow your mind. You know what I've always wanted to do? You ever see the movie Back to the Future? I would love to happen to do that. Give me a DeLorean. Give me a DeLorean Motor Company and let me roll. Give me the flux capacitor and all. Because here's what I would like to do. I recently went and seen Wrath of the Titans. Even though it was a very, very poorly movie, it was a very poor movie that pretty much relied strictly on its 3D and massive, computer graphics appeal to pretty much stop the movie out because the movie was really crappy. It was, like, it's really short too. There was like a Cyclops fight, and then there's like the fight with the Chimera, and then there's a fight with Ares, and then there's a fight with Kronos, and that's the movie. That's pretty much the whole movie. There's a little bit of dialogue sprung throughout. Whole thing. But not the point. Here's the point. What would it be like if you could go back in time and show somebody, like, Avatar? Wouldn't that blow their fucking mind? Just a tree scene in Avatar. Just like a guy from the 30s. He's sitting there. He's got his fucking gangsta hat on. He's sitting there smoking him a Chesterfield. Or whatever somebody in the 30s used to do. Pulling their pants up, and they're like, what the hell is this sorcery? Wouldn't that be fucking crazy? That'd be wicked. Just imagine what they would do Like, how would somebody like that react? Let's try it again. What the hell is this, sorcerer? You know what it is? Better yet, how about this idea? Just leaving a movie around. Don't tell who fucking made it. Just go back in the 40s. Just throw it in, like, a bar. And, you know, just leave it there. But you got... God, I'm running into a problem here. I just thought about the problem I'd run into. They'd have no way of playing it. You'd have to actually have it in, like, real form. Because if you go too far back, you don't even have a color. So you had to bring, like, a DVD player and, like, a TV that's a color TV and plug that shit up for them. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of going in and just bringing, like, a DVD back and do like, here, look at this shit, dog. Yeah, you couldn't do that. And then you couldn't go so far back because of the electricity differences. I mean, back in the day, electricity was wired different than it is today, and it could be on a different system. They used to use actually a different amount of voltage in the wires. So you'd have to have you'd have to have a converter as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. But all the little things aside, wouldn't that be wicked just to show somebody from the 30s what this stuff would look like? I mean, you kind of can guess, like, the reaction kind of would be like Marty from Back to the Future. But I would like to see what the whole world would take it in as. That would kind of be like, I don't know, it'd probably be something like War of the Worlds when the walkers start going up and tearing up New York City. That also leads me to remind me, like, what about Roswell? Roswell's one of those situations that you always look and think, like, man, did that really happen or did it not happen? Because, you know, you can go and have your own opinion and base everything you can from all the information that you're given. That's all you can do in the long run. But at the end of the day, you're still going on speculation because I wasn't even alive. I don't think so. Yeah, I had to go check when Roswell happened. It happened in 1947. And I had to make sure that I wasn't even alive when Roswell actually happened. That alone is a good indicator of, like, what you know and what you think you know at the same time. Like, for some reason, I was thinking that Roswell happened in 1976. It had ended up happening in 1947. And, like, I was almost 30 years off. And, like, how can I base an opinion on something like that when I don't even know what year it fucking happened? And, like, I don't even know how I got onto this subject. And now we're at the awkward part of every commentary that you ever listen to where you realize that the person that you're listening to has ran out of shit to talk about and now he's droning on just to get the seconds of the video to go up. I'm just fucking with you. Oh, man. But anyway, here's a clip of me fucking up on a flower. Oh!
Here we are recording now. We're going to pull up some trees with the Christine. Yeah, there comes one right there. Oh yeah, we've lost it. We didn't.
Peace, bitch ass. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and this is gonna be a good one. So sit down and take a seat. All right, everybody know your boy Shaun Hutchinson is leaving YouTube, and he might not be playing video games for a while. And here's the end result. Here's my opinion on it. As a whole, me and Hutch have a long history. We go way back. We go back 4 years. And most of the people consider Hutch the guy who created my channel. Let me go ahead and address that first. Me and Hutch had a falling. Well, we didn't really have a falling out. Let me go back even further than the quick scoping fiasco. Hutch gave Z7 Taylor a shout out, and through that, he ended up spawning my channel because I was friends with Z7 Taylor. And when I started my channel, I looked up to Hutch so much it was ridiculous because Hutch, gave Taylor a chance to shine. And I'm like, wow, if Taylor can do it, I can do it. So when I got my channel off running, Taylor actually gave me a shout out. Taylor gave me a shout out, and it netted me 950 subscribers. I ended up getting up to 1,000 subscribers in 3.5 months. So I gained another 50 subscribers that first 3 months of doing YouTube. I was happy. I mean, I remember only getting like
26 comments a video, and I looked forward to every one of them motherfuckers. I was like, yeah, and I was sending messages back, and I was happy as I was all get out. You know, like, it's funny now, you see YouTube channels today saying, like, I respond to everybody. Yeah, because you only get 26 messages. I respond to everybody, too, back in the day. Now, I mean, an average video of mine gets anywhere from 500 to 1,000 messages, and the average, you know, older video gets anywhere from, you know, 20 to 25 messages. So I'm getting upwards of, you know, 10,000 messages a day. You can't check them all. That's not on top of, you know, emails and, you know, messaging on PSN, Xbox, and all this. I mean, you take the time to skim them, but you don't really look at every one of them. Hell, I've probably missed business deals as much as I have to look through on mailboxes and stuff. But it is what it is. That's what it is. So in a way, Hutch did create my channel, because if Z7 Taylor never got that shout out from Hutch, I would have never got a shout out from Taylor. And I would have never had 1,000 subs going into Modern Warfare 2, and I don't know if I would have hit the limbo. See, in that aspect, I do give Hutch credit for helping my channel out. But what most people think that helped my channel out was the quickscoping fiasco. And let me go ahead and give you some facts, since a lot of people don't even remember these days, and a lot of people are very ignorant towards anything and just go what they hear word of mouth. Back in November, early December, Modern Warfare 2 had just came out. I was sitting at around 1,800 to 2,000 subs. I was growing really fast that first month of Modern Warfare 2 because everybody started looking for it. Sandy Ravage had just got done doing the early gameplay, and they had the Xbox, you know, thing where you could pretty much download the PC version and just upload it to your Xbox and start playing. And back in the day, I was a really hardcore sniper. Like, when I first started doing this, that's all I did, because I actually started YouTube to do sniping montages. And one thing I just kept noticing was people saying they didn't like to watch me snipe because I didn't quickscope. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What's a quickscope? Because quickscope is something I never even heard about. I played World at War. I didn't play Call of Duty 4, so I didn't know about the M40 ACOG stuff, just running around and doing spins and stuff, because nobody did that on World of War. In World of War, sniping was actually sniping. You hold your hard scope and you shoot the guy. The only thing that matters is you got to kill at the end of the day. People were more impressed with, you know, straight up just getting long range shots than they were with how fast you could shoot somebody. So this might be funny that I didn't really know about it, because, you know, even though I respected Hutch, I didn't really watch Hutch, to be perfectly honest. I watched Taylor. I watched Anders, which he was another World of War commentator back in the day. Me and him were about the same size before Blame Truth gave him a shout out. And I watched Anders. I remember his first video was like Dome, where he goes 30-0, and I was like, man, Dome 30-0. Like, how the hell you do that? Because a lot of people don't really realize that when I started my YouTube channels, when I started playing for killed to death ratio. I mean, World at War was my first real Call of Duty game, and toward the end of it was me evolving as a player. So I started out, my first account on World of War was Astral Demigod, which I had like a 1.4 KD the entire year. And then I created the new account, Unlimited UAV, with Taylor. His name was something else, and we see it how high KD we could hold. I started out in Unlimited UAV as a sniper only account, which had like a 3.2 KD, and then I just switched it over in YouTube and just started using it for everything else. So I was learning and developing, you know, stage traffic patterns and things like that when Modern Warfare 2 kicked over, and I just kind of continued on with it. I pretty much adapted, you know, search and destroy sniping into, you know, other weapons such as the STG-44 and like later on like the FAMAS, the M16 and things like that. And I kind of gravitated more to the M16 in Modern Warfare 2 and the FAMAS because of their sniper-like qualities. The, you know, the one-shot kill, you know, where you don't really have to stay on target a long time. Just like bam, 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 ammo conservation. So with that being said, I had around 2,000 subs, and I was growing pretty fast in Modern Warfare 2, mainly because I did things that other people didn't do. Like I started personalizing my channel, bringing more people in. I was I started doing intros. I started having catchphrases, things like that that people notice and come back for. I started that trend. I mean, I didn't start it like as the beginning of time, but on YouTube, trends were not popular. You got to understand, when I came out, there was like Sandy Ravage, Blame Truth, XCal. XCal and Blame Truth hardly didn't post anything. They were at the point where they were bitching about COD 24/7. Hutch, who pretty much who was still doing the quick scope thing, and he personalized his channel before mine. Like he brung his people into his life before me, because at the same time he was doing the girlfriend thing and like, oh yeah, we had sex, and he was a little bit ahead of the game back then, and that's why he was a bigger channel than me. He was ahead of the game. More people knew him, so on and so forth. It goes over in that direction. People thought of him as a friend. And obviously he's doing it better than me because he was a bigger channel than me. And then came along Machinima. Alright, a lot of us got signed on Machinima. I got signed on the second string of Machinima as a director for their channel. They pretty much went by and picked up all the guys that were big at the time. And Hutch was the first string. There was Hutch, Kyle, Blame Truth, XCal didn't get the first string, I don't know. But they picked up a bunch of them, and they tried them out on their channel. Boom, and then they kicked off and did well, because they had just created Respawn at that time. Machinima as a company had been doing like the Halo stuff where they sing and all for a while now. Hutch went from like 12,000 subscribers to like 22,000 subscribers overnight. Overnight, he just blew up. By the end of November of that year, Hutch had grown to like 40,000 subscribers, and I had grown from the beginning of November to the first December. Since I was the first 10th Prestige on Modern Warfare 2, I'd grown from a little over 1,000 subs to around 10,000 subs, and then Pyro Puncher gave me a shout out, and that put me at like 14,000 subs, because Pyro Puncher at the time had 10,000 subscribers himself, and we ran it like that. So all this information, the numbers might not be 100% accurate, but gives you an idea. So I got my Machinima contract at that point, and my Machinima contract, it was like, oh man, I get to make money doing this now. It's like beforehand we were doing everything we did just because we did it, because we loved it, and now I have this means to make Dolo, some Skrilla, some cash. My review, but so I was very excited about it. So we started posting on the Machinima the Respawn channel, and I would watch every video that came up on Respawn. Couple reasons. One, I wanted to see what the standard was. I wanted to compare my videos to other people's videos, because at this time, this is the first time I actually cared what other people put out, because my video standard had to be on par with theirs, because I was under the impression that if you put something on Respawn, it had to be top notch, the pinnacle, the best stuff you can actually put out. So I saved Machinima videos to be the good stuff. Machinima videos were the Riot Shield nukes. Machinima videos were the dual nukes. Machinima videos were in that kind of ballpark, instead of the vice versa, which happened later on. So I'm watching, and I see Hutch again. I'm like, oh, there's Hutch. He had a quick scoping video. It's like sniping tips with Hutch, and basically it was on terminal in an intervention. He ended up going 30 and 18. Remember, at this time I had the Scout Sniper series, and the Scout Sniper series was about doing well with the sniper rifle, and we had two different contrasting styles. I'm like, dude, 30 and 18, why is this guy giving tips? Because at the time, I wouldn't post anything that was less than like more than 3 deaths. And he comes here, 30 and 18, trying to quick scope on I think it was like a free-for-all terminal. So I'm like, so I make a video which I use the intervention with stopping power, and I go 52 and 3 on the invasion in a domination game, and I go, like, look here. There's been a new video put out on Machinima, and if you follow me, please don't take those tips to heart, because they're really bad tips. And, from a really bad sniper, and that was my impression there, because that quickscoping bullshit was horrible. You and it kind of reflected on it. You could have, I was holding a 3.5 KD with a Barrett cold blooded, versus Hutch holding barely over a 1 with an intervention stopping power. And I went on to say, like, the guy's got stopping power on, and he can't pull more than a 1.5 KD. That should give you a good example. And I did it not at the time to think, oh man, I'm going to blow up because of Hutch, because I didn't really think Hutch would even see the video, to be perfectly honest. I didn't know he knew I existed. I had never talked to him, and I didn't pretty much generate in my mind that level of exposure I'd get just because I was a machinima director, because I was a new machinima director. And well, Hutch did get wind of it, and for about 3 months there, his 40,000 fans tried to beat down upon me. I was getting like 4,000 messages a day. I was getting hate messages. I was threatening my life and stuff. People saying I was boring, that I camped too much, and it pretty much changed the tone and strategy of my channel. For the reason of I was nice. I would do everything. I'd do the right from the screen and stuff and all this, and it kind of hardened me real quick, because this was the first negative criticism I'd gotten since I started doing it. Everything else from up to that point had been super positive, and I had to kind of adjust and deal with it. And if you've never done YouTube before, this is where it makes or breaks a YouTube channel. That reinforcement. Somebody like Advanced UAV nowadays, a lot of people hate that dude, but that dude knows what he's doing. He knows that he knows that the all that negative comments eventually gonna pour out into the core subscribers, and core subscribers is what you're actually after. So obviously, as an effect, people subscribe to my channel to hate on me. My channel jumped up probably 8,000 subscribers overnight, and my next 15 videos, dislikes, tore it out, can't much, that kind of comments. And instead of getting mad, what I did was I tried to put out 3 videos a day, and I tried to make them super impressive, because at the time I was the only guy putting out 3 videos a day. And I was the only guy when Machinima first started up to even bother posting on his own channel. And through all this, people that came to hate on my videos actually found out they started liking my videos. So, in effect, Hutch did generate the traffic toward my channel, even though I didn't ask for it. I mean, because I never really thought that, boom, I'm going to get all these subscribers off Hutch. You didn't think about that, days, because the money wasn't I hadn't even got paid at that point. The first paycheck hadn't even hit the damn mailbox. Shoot, we didn't get paid for the first 6 or 7 months. I didn't get paid till the middle of next year before. So money wasn't even a concern back then. And what ended up happening is I just started look here. You want to come to my channel and hate? Welcome to my channel. Here's what I'm about. Here's what I do. I hope you're entertained. That's the impression I took, and then Optic started in on me, which Optic is one I actually give most credit to, because I actually gained more subscribers from the Optic thing than I ever did from Hutch. Optic started backing Hutch, so I got into the whole look here. Here's a gameplay video. I had a game on Rundown where Hardline, and I went 62-4 with a hardline intervention on a ground war rundown, and I challenged every person in Optic to do it. I'm like, you say what I'm doing is easy. You're saying anybody can go out there and get this score camping. Prove it. Any member of Optic can get a score like this with a, perk other than stopping power on a sniper rifle, with the use of an AC-130. You win. And Optic's challenge with me was to get a nuke quickscoping. Well, I got the nuke quickscoping 2 days later. It was on Wasteland. and pretty much all you got to do is throw together 7 quick scopes and, you know, throw a Harrier up and you win. I mean, the point is, I did what they did, and Optic even to this day has never finished that challenge. I mean, I remember I actually made some good friends during that. Fnatic was one of them. Fnatic, he was one of the snipers in Optic. He was the only guy in Optic to come close to putting out the doing it. So I'm like, dude, that's great. So I took Fnatic and I put him on my channel. I'm like, look here, you had the balls to do it. You came close to doing it. Here, do this. Come to my channel and do this. And he did like a headquarters gameplay with the AK-47, and that's how I met Optic Fnatic. But back to Hutch. After that, me and Hutch kind of, after the Optic and everything fell down, me and Hutch kind of got together. I'm like, look here, dude, people are starting to flag videos. And me and you both know if they start flagging my videos, they're going to start flagging your videos. Because at that time, I'd built a core subscriber base. It was like Team Wings versus Team Hutch. So we decided to get together and, like grown-ass men, do a dual commentary over my gameplay on his channel to talk about the differences in sniping and camping versus playing the objective, and how, like, even if you don't get on the objective, you're pretty much helping play the game out. And I picked a game where I basically didn't play the objective. I didn't never jump with flags, but I got lots and lots of defends. And at the end of the game, I ended up being the pivotal point of winning the game. And we talked about how camping is required, and if everybody rushed it, and how would it feel. And hell, you can go see the video now. I ain't gonna sit here and explain it to you. Damn, it's fucking 18 minutes in already. But that's where that first video, like that sniping on Wasteland, when that video went on Hutch's channel, I got another boost in subs. I ended up peaking out. Hutch at that time around 100,000, and I was around 30,000. I ended up jumping up to 50,000 after that video. And from there on, I didn't talk to Hutch. After that, it was squashed. Most of the people that came on to hate this is somewhere probably, I don't even remember the month. I'd have to go back and check. But this is, you know, sometime late December, early January, maybe even February, where that video goes up. And that was it. I mean, shortly after that, I do the one-man army YouTube video. Shortly after that, I do a Riot Shield nuke video. Shortly, and at that point I've already did the dual nuke video. I mean, there's tons of videos that in Modern Warfare 2 I pretty much paved the way to my channel. And I end up getting 100,000 subscribers a year later, into December of the next year, and that's when Black Ops was coming out. And Black Ops is when I really blew up, because at Black Ops I went from 100,000 to 300,000, mainly because of my style and different things I was doing in Black Ops. But as Hutch as a person, that's my background history at Hutch. Later on I went on to Camp Hutch and stuff like that, and I also was I was the first person to point out G-Unit's fake nuke. And, you know, Hutch ended up coming up with that. But other than that, me and Hutch actually became friends. I became friends with Hutch during the Geometry Wars 2 thing, because Hutch and I think Tabe were having a clash, and I kind of butt into him like, look here, Hutch, let me one-up you. And I doubled his score. Like, here you go. And that doubling of his score was like, I think the highest I ever got in Geometry was like 400 million. And Hutch ended up destroying that out the water. But the fact is, we ended up becoming friends with that. Then we had Painkiller already, which happened in April. And we ended up getting Hutch a couple times on there. And that, you know, obviously, you know, I met Woody. Woody was always a huge fan of Hutch, and we always integrated into that. Hutch as a person Hutch is one of those guys that I respect, because he is the same person in a commentary as he is out of a commentary. You're not getting a two-sided thing. And there's a lot of people that do this shit that is very two-sided. And I'm not pointing any names or just saying anybody's name, but there's a lot of people out there like that. And Hutch isn't one of those people. Hutch he's got a strong opinion. His opinions might not be right, and they're not always wrong either. But I don't really know what else to say. What do I feel like Hutch leaving? I feel like if he has an exit strategy and it's working for him, go for it. I mean, I wish I was at this stage. I wish I had an exit strategy. I mean, because this YouTube game, we don't make millions of dollars. A lot of people have this like minor conception that we make, millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Some of us might, but like a channel my size, I make enough to not go get a real job, but I don't make enough to warrant putting in a pool. If that makes sense. But that's pretty much my history with Hutch, and what I feel about him, about leaving. I feel like he's a puppy. I mean, like I had a puppy named Zoe, and I cried when I had to get rid of her, and I cried all the way up to the point. But the next day, I didn't cry. I don't think Hutch will ever be forgotten in the community. I think he's one of the people that laid the path of the Golden Brick Road. But I don't think him leaving the community is going to be any kind of milestone. Like it's going to be earth shattering. Like something's going to change, because in theory, Hutch left the community 2.5 years ago when he pretty much signed on with Machinima. I mean, he pretty much hadn't done videos since, because Hutch only did videos on Machinima like a month. Then he got hired with him, and since then, other than like the live stream stuff, I never really considered Hutch a part of the community since then. So to me, him quitting the YouTube community was basically saying he's quitting the job at Machinima and moving somewhere else on with his life, and that's more power to him. I mean, but as like a regular member of the community, I don't put him on the same level as Only Use Me Blade or Sandy Ravage or Next Cow or Fear Crads, mainly because I don't deal with him every day. Like I'm not, because he hasn't really done anything in his channel with so long that it's like, oh, that's Hutch's channel. It's the same thing as like an FPS Russia. FPS Russia used to do gameplay video. What he was doing was prevalent to me, because like that's another person I had to put as a barometer to myself. When FPS Russia switched over to shooting videos, oh, he kind of alienated himself from the Call of Duty community. I just stopped thinking about him. But that's my opinion on Hutch. And as for getting him on PKA, I doubt that'll happen. Hutch hasn't had very good bouts on PKA. Usually it's a finger point session, and it's a really heated debate. PKA is tonight, and it's going to be with I think we're having Mercadurka, and we're either going to have like Redneck or Guns for Hire standing in for Kyle, because I don't think Kyle's going to make it tonight. But as always, it's been your boy Wings of Redemption, and if you could, leave me a like. It's your boy.